Could a mysterious box really print unlimited money? Victor Lustig made a fortune convincing people it could. His infamous Romanian Box was a masterpiece of deception. Let us uncover the secrets of his legendary money-making machine and other cunning scams. Victor Lustig was a gambler who became a master con artist. He was smart and changed with the times. Born in 1890 in Hostinei, then part of Austria-Hungary, Lustig was a fast learner with a gift for languages and convincing people. He wasn't born a criminal, but he had potential. Paris, a city of dreams and trickery, is where he turned to crime. The promise of easy money led him to gambling, where he learned to read people and use situations to his advantage. During the aftermath of World War I, Lustig needed to come up with a new way to make money since his old tricks weren't working anymore. His inspiration for the Romanian Box came after getting to know more about people. If everybody wants riches, why not sell the promise of endless riches? That's how the box was born, a device that exploited people's greed, tempting them with the ability to print their own money. The Romanian Box was essentially a scam aimed at greedy individuals looking for a shortcut to riches. Its exterior was a fancy mahogany case, which added an air of mystery and excitement. Inside, it had complex-looking levers and gears, but they were all for show. The box had slots for a genuine bill and a blank paper. After 6 hours, it seemed to print an exact copy of the original bill. Lustig's true talent wasn't just building the box, it was his performance that sold the lie. He would demonstrate the box's power using a real bill, but his helper would secretly switch it out. The victims, blinded by greed, saw only what they wanted to see, a machine that could make them incredibly rich. The scam worked because it played on a very basic human emotion: greed. Lustig knew his victims weren't just buying a box, they were buying the idea that they could cheat the system. This understanding of human weakness made this scam one of the most famous scams ever. Victor Lustig's life of deception was a high-stakes game, a dance between cunning and pursuit. No con artist can evade the law indefinitely, and Lustig's luck eventually ran thin, but somehow he always managed to slip through the police all the time. Lustig's arrogance had caught the attention of law enforcement agencies across Europe and the United States. His aliases multiplied, and his reputation as a master swindler grew. Yet, like a phantom, he remained elusive. As the 1920s roared on, Lustig's scams grew bolder, his victims more desperate, and the authorities more determined to stop him. His arrest record reached over 50 times, yet each time he slipped away. His secret: meticulous planning and an uncanny ability to exploit human nature. He knew when to vanish, leaving no trace. The law chased shadows while Lustig vanished into the crowd. Interestingly, Lustig's Romanian Box was more than just a simple wooden box. It was a theatrical masterpiece crafted with the utmost precision. Selling this illusion required great finesse, showmanship, and a deep understanding of human psychology. Could you imagine someone being so bold as to try and sell the Eiffel Tower? Victor Lustig did just that. The legend starts with Lustig tricking one victim, a man he tricked into giving his trust. André Poisson, a rich man in the metal scrap business, was the unlucky star of Lustig's daring plan. Poisson was desperate to make a name for himself in Paris, and that made him the perfect target. Lustig was charming and great at reading people, so he knew Poisson was the perfect victim. Lustig spun his web of lies in a fancy hotel room. He pretended to be an American official, and his charm fooled even the smartest people. The Eiffel Tower, a symbol of French pride and amazing engineering, was the bait. Lustig sent letters to rich business people in the metal industry, inviting them to a secret meeting. His made-up story, mistakes in building it, huge repair costs, and secret political problems made it seem like the famous tower would be torn down. Poisson, captivated by Lustig's performance, entered the bidding battle. The stakes soared, and the scammer's charisma worked its magic. In the end, André Poisson won the unlikely honor of purchasing the Eiffel Tower for a staggering sum of 70,000 francs. Little did he know that he had fallen victim to the greatest con in history, orchestrated by the man who would sell the tower not once, but twice. Now, how did Lustig make people believe the Eiffel Tower was for sale? To begin with, Lustig wisely chose his battleground: luxury hotels, elegant receptions, and other exclusive and high-end places. When he arrived at the renowned Hôtel de Crillon, his identity went unquestioned, and the aura of exclusivity lent legitimacy to his claims. After all, an American official wouldn't waste time on trivial matters. Lustig's narrative was equally captivating. He spun a tale of urgency and necessity, with the Eiffel Tower, once a beacon of pride, now facing decay and financial strain. His story tugged at the heartstrings of potential buyers as he revealed engineering mishaps, political secrets, and other such details that made the situation seem dire. The tower's demolition loomed, and the solution lay in selling it to the highest bidder. The French government needed funds, and the Eiffel Tower became a pawn in Lustig's grand game. All in all, it was a masterful display of salesmanship, making this a huge success. Another great scam Lustig did was when the Great Depression hit. He devised a daring scheme aimed at none other than Al Capone, one of the most infamous mobsters of his time. During the Great Depression, Lustig approached Capone with a proposition to invest $50,000 in a business venture. However, this was not a straightforward con. Instead of trying to steal a large sum from Capone, Lustig simply put the money in a safe for 2 months. After this period, he returned the money to Capone, claiming that the investment had failed. Impressed by Lustig's apparent honesty and integrity, Capone gave him $5,000. This was a psychological game, and Lustig's survival indeed depended on his ability to outwit Capone. So while the stakes were high and the risk of death was real if Capone realized he was being conned, Lustig managed to successfully pull off this audacious scam. It's another testament to Lustig's reputation as one of the most skilled and daring con artists in history. Now we might think, when did it all come to an end? Even the grandest symphony reaches its final note. For Victor Lustig, the peak came in 1935. His counterfeit banknote operation had grown so vast that it threatened to shake confidence in the American economy. The law had had enough. In New York, a judge sentenced him to 20 years on Alcatraz, the infamous island prison. The man who had sold the Eiffel Tower twice would now face the rock, its unforgiving cliffs and iron bars. Lustig's arrival at Alcatraz was unlike any other inmates. He dressed like a matinee idol, spoke 5 languages fluently, and possessed a hypnotic charm. The Milwaukee Journal called him a storybook character. But beneath the facade lay a web of lies. Lustig had used 47 aliases and carried fake passports. His true identity remained shrouded, even in prison. Newly discovered documents revealed more humble beginnings, a childhood in a small Austrian-Hungarian town, far from the aristocracy he claimed. As the prison gates closed behind him, Lustig's criminal symphony reached its final movement. The man who had danced with greed, outsmarted the law, and sold dreams, now faced the reality of confinement. Alcatraz, with its unforgiving currents and watchful guards, would be his stage. The curtain fell, and Victor Lustig's legacy fell. Scams have evolved from the wooden Romanian box to the digital realm. Yet one thing remains the same. Scammers exploit the desire for easy money. Be wary of emails promising riches, unbelievable investment returns, and any scheme that sounds too good to be true. They use psychological tricks to manipulate our minds, invoking reciprocity, commitment, and social proof. The global reach of today's scams transcends borders, exposing us to international fraud networks. Educating the digital generation about phishing, secure passwords, and critical thinking is our best defense against cyber threats. Lustig's legacy isn't just about wooden boxes, it's a cautionary tale echoing across centuries. Let us learn from his trickery and protect ourselves from the temptation of shortcuts and false promises. The true wealth lies not in illusory gains, but in wisdom and resilience against the ever-evolving scams of our age. And that's it for this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our future videos. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.